back. Unofficial Commentators back another week, baby. JJ Nuoch over there. Coach Paki over here, and clearly a very disturbed Daniel Jones right behind Jay. What the hell is going on, bro? What is going on, man?
Week 10 is in the books, and man, this league, no lead is ever safe. No one is really clearly in the lead. Gary's in first place. We know that much, but after that, it's an absolute logjam. I was second place last week. I lost this week, and I dropped the fourth. Cousin Juan cracked the top three, and he has a kind of middle of the pack score there. Wow. A lot to talk about fantasy wise. Like, every single week makes huge shifts in the rankings.
Dude, would you say, objectively speaking, that this might be like, and to my memory, like maybe the best year that we've had in fantasy, or like the most competitive in regards to how close everybody is? There's literally only one team that you can maybe say it's not competing anymore, but they even they have a shot, mathematically speaking. What do you think?
No. Your original question was, is this the most competitive in several years or recent memory, whatever? I feel like this league is always competitive.
The way that this is going, I can see, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it mathematically could happen, where a 7th seed on the last week of the season, if they win, goes up to 2nd seed. Like that's how crazy this is. You know what I'm saying? Like that could actually happen, dude. That's insane.
Yep. I'm currently, after week 10, I'm 5-5, and I'm in 4th place right now, barely hanging into a playoff berth. I was 5-4 last week, and I was in 2nd place.
I'm 5-5, and I'm in 7th place. I was in 9th place last week.
There you go. And it's a 12-team league, and 5-5 is basically the glut of the middle. This league, as usual, is as competitive as ever.
Dude, no, this is a good season. It's a good season. Do you think it has to do because we switched it down to 12? Do you think that might be the reason?
I mean, okay. So switching it down to 12 means there's less cellar dwellers, bottom feeders. What do we call those teams? With 2 extra teams, I feel like there would have been. The bottom team basically reflects the top, right? So Gary's like 7-3, and then the worst team is 3-7. So
Gary's 8-2. Watch yourself, all right? He's 8-2.
So there would have been probably a couple of 2 and 8 teams at the bottom, and something higher towards the top. But
okay. Well, I think it made a difference because I just think there's like more talent in each team. You know what I mean? And everybody has a little bit more of a, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a fair shot, but like what is it called? Like you have like a shot, like a whatever.
Then they call it competitive balance, or
I think there's a little bit more balance. Yeah, there's a little bit more balance, for sure. It's a good season.
Yeah, competitive balance. Some people call it parity. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the league has been this before, even with 14 teams. But that's definitely what we were looking for when we changed this to 12 teams. Honestly, I wanted like thicker, more competitive teams, and a little bit more on the waiver wire. I mean, we found some gems here and there, but honestly, like week to week, it's like, who the hell is there to even pick up?
I think that's just the season, though. That's just the NFL right now, because I'm in an 8-team league, and even there, it's hard to find waiver wire pickups. In an 8-team league, I thought we were going to be like feasting. But no, I mean, obviously you find something, but it's not like you're like, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh my God, who am I going to pick? This is so difficult. So like, even it's just a weird season overall.
All right. NFL, anything to talk about?
I mean, we got a lot to talk about, dude. I finally got to watching a little bit of football this weekend. So, I'm excited to just talk about some games.
Week 10, kind of middle of the season or half the halfway point. I feel like everybody's injured. This week had some buys that really affected a lot of the star power, and all of the primetime games sucked. Thursday night football, trash. Sunday night football, trash. Monday night football, triggity trash.
I think Monday
Uh,
Night Football was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't trash, but the other games were pretty bad.
wasn't it like 0-0 all the way through halftime, something like
But
that, or
that
maybe three
yeah, but
zero?
that doesn't mean it was a bad game. I mean, we'll probably talk about it
Yeah,
later.
but
But to me, that doesn't mean it was a bad game.
it wasn't like a defensive struggle either. It was just a lot of like missteps, a
I
lot
feel
of
like
like
there.
taking one step forward and two steps back. A lot of penalties, fumbles, everything was kind of on display there.
I mean, let's break the order of how we normally go. Let's get right to it, so we don't waste any time. Let's talk about that game first, right? Like, I don't know if you're cool with that, but like, I do think there was a lot of good defensive plays. Like I do agree there was miscues as well, but 10-7 on Monday Night Football, Eagles and Packers, to me was not the same as the 10-7 Raiders and Broncos on Thursday Night Football, even though they were the exact same scores. I don't think it was the same quality of football or the same quality of game. Like, I think there were some mistakes. They happened mostly in the first half, but I think the defense is locked down. And I think when the teams had an opportunity to take a shot, they took it. And, I think both Eagles and Packers connected. It's just the Eagles connected for a touchdown. The Packers fell a bit short. And then the Eagles defense held down. So sometimes because of fantasy football, I feel like we forget to give defense to the credit to the defense, and they deserve it. Like that dude that came over from the Dolphins, he balled out, right? So much for the Dolphins defense is garbage. He balled out with the Eagles, right? So I think it was a very good game. No,
Jalen
a good game,
Phillips,
a good game.
yeah, tackle for a loss, recovered a fumble.
I'll tell you what though. Every time the Eagles do a tush push now, it gets scrutinized by everybody on micro slow motion false starts. I think this is going to be the last year of the tush push. I think people are honestly making it like what's his face? The commentator for Monday Night Football, Michael. What's his
Al
face?
Michaels.
No, the other guy, Mike Tirico. Like he even made a comment. He's like, "This is what football has come down to." Like, what a shame. Like, motherfucker, that's your opinion. Like, I feel like there's a narrative to end the tush push, and this might be the last season. So the Eagles better win a Super Bowl now, because I don't think without the tush push, that's a huge advantage, dude. I think that's a difference maker.
Uh, what can I honestly say about the tush push? I feel like the quarterback sneak has been a play forever. The problem is getting pushed from the rear.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep doing your quarterback sneak. You still got a dude that has like the leg power to push through whatever the hell they're trying to do with him.
I will say this though, just like every other football and every other play in football, I'm seeing more teams doing it, and not every team is as successful as the Eagles percentage wise, but I'm seeing more teams have more success with it. So, like, I will say that much. I just think the NFL is going to do with the play, and it's a shame because I'm pro tush push, not because I'm an Eagles fan, or just because I'm a football fan, dude. I think that's just hard nosed football. Like, I don't if you can't stop it, you can't stop it, dude. I don't give a shit. Like, I am a fan, but I think they're going to eliminate it because the NFL is soft.
All right, look at this. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 26, 183 yards, one touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. You look at the defense for Green Bay, not a ton of hurries. No one on the defense registered any QB hits. So it was just poor offense. It wasn't even like he's constantly running away from defenses or whatever the hell. Where were the attempts? 26 passes in a league where Joe Flacco's throwing 40 plus at 40 years old. AJ Brown just out there running wind sprints, played like 70% of snaps, got 3 targets. What the hell is going on?
I mean, I think you're underestimating the defensive effort that it takes to slow down the Eagles' running game completely. Like the Eagles' running game was shut down completely, and they were like the Eagles are a team that they get a lot of big plays from yards after catch, and Green Bay wasn't giving them anything, dude. Like they were getting tackled on the spot. You know what I mean? It's not always just about sacks. I get it. I get what you're saying, but I think there's just more to defense. It's not just sacks. I think they played very good defensive football. That's what I think. I think they covered well. They got to the tackles. They got to their spots. They held their gaps. Saquon couldn't break one open until he caught a catch in the second half where he finally broke the tackle with a really nice spin move, by the way. But they were there. Green Bay was there, right? So I don't know. I think I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing. In just my opinion, it wasn't an offensive game, but defense deserves credit too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess give the defense some love, but it didn't play out in counting stats, and the offense. Honestly, this looks anemic. Like, okay, yes, anytime they completed, they got stopped on the spot. I get you, but I can't see you winning a ton of games doing this. What would like the total yards for the team? This is weak.
I mean, something like we can. I mean, nobody. I don't think it's being said enough, but Green Bay is clearly slumping on offense, dude. They haven't looked good the last couple of weeks on offense, and they just lost Tyler Kraft last week, but Christian Watson came
Tucker
back.
Kraft.
Yeah, what did I say? Tyler? I don't know why I keep saying Tyler. But Tucker Kraft got left, but Christian Watson's back, who was a big play receiver for them, right? So they still have some injuries on offense. I think they got that guy, what's his name, something Golden. He's out and all that. But Green Bay offense has been slumping, so I'll give you that much. They haven't looked great.
Christian Watson his timing is a little bit off. I think he got hit in the head with a pass. He didn't turn around in time.
Yeah, and it looks like this is a team that's struggling with what teams that don't have great receivers struggle with, which that's another topic when we go to the Buffalo-Miami game. But, that's where the receivers get paid nowadays. They break out big, explosive plays.
So it is what it is. This the at the heart, our show is related to fantasy. If you were counting on this game for like any big swings in fantasy, unfortunately, you didn't really get that.
Nothing.
Maybe if Devontae Smith's touchdown got you over the edge, congrats to you. Maybe Josh Jacobs, who again scores every single week, if he got you a touchdown and that put you over the edge and got you a win, another props to you. But anyone else, counting on Saquon, who was a first-round pick, if you were counting on Jalen Hurts to kind of get you over, you probably drafted him for the running upside to try to get to a touchdown. That didn't happen. Not running anyway.
I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, I was one. It doesn't apply to our fantasy league, but I won another matchup in another league. That's also a 12-teamer. It's a very expensive league. I won 89-83, and I had the Philadelphia Eagles defense. It's a defensive team league, and the Philadelphia defense won me that matchup. So they gave me like 11 points. So there you go. They also deserve some credit.
when the opponent only scores 7 points, and they recover a fumble and they get a couple sacks,
and a pick.
I guess. Yeah, okay.
No, they didn't get a pick. Oh no, they didn't get a pick. No, I thought they did. It was a call. Oh, it was called back. That's what it was. They get the fumble. Anyways, we got to move on.
All right. Is it worth talking about the Broncos and Raiders? I guess you said everything that we needed to hear. They traded touchdowns in quarters 1 and 2, and after that they made like a league all-time record for 3 and outs. And basically it came down to a field goal at the end. That's your game.
Ass game. Next.
Absolutely. Moving on. All right. So from one of the worst games, the next game on the schedule would have been the Sunday morning German game. That was the Indianapolis Colts playing the Atlanta Falcons, for which it looked like Atlanta was in the driver's seat for a long time. Daniel Jones looked like he had reverted. I think at some point you even mentioned how His little Mario power-up star had run out.
Yeah.
But then they went back to Old Faithful. Just give it to Jonathan Taylor and get the hell out the way.
32 carries in today's football, Jay. That's like the equivalent of carrying the ball 45 times back in the year 2000. Because, like, if we're gonna prorate it, right, to like the average carries from running back. 32 carries, 244 yards. It was the Jonathan Taylor show in the fourth quarter and overtime.
For sure. Again, a 3-touchdown performance, 244 rushing yards. This is just running. We're not even talking about any catches or anything. 244 yards. They win in overtime. And this team is a reflection of the guy who drafted Jonathan Taylor. Like, they're gonna get you as far as he takes you. I guess the only talking point that came out of this, or the biggest talking point, is the Colts are 8-2. Jonathan Taylor's en route to score a record amount of touchdowns.
Dude, I gotta say something
Is
real quick. Like, while you're about Jonathan Taylor, like, as you're talking, because this has to do with what you just said. Dude, I just looked at right now at something. He's had 5 games with 3 touchdowns this season. I don't know if that's a record, but that's got to be close to a record.
This seems like it's normal.
There's running backs that go an entire career starting running backs with thousands of carries that don't ever get a 3-touchdown game. And this dude got 5 in one season. And there's still games left. That's insane to me. 48 points.
This is week 10 of 18. He hasn't even had his bye week.
48 fantasy points.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, dude. I just, to me, that's like, if this guy doesn't win the MVP, no player besides
that's where I wanted to get
win the MVP. Ever.
That's what I wanted to get to. So I have to think that he's already locked down the offensive player of the year. It's already locked down. It's just a matter of, do they want to remove this award that's now only apparently going to quarterbacks and finally give a running back a chance?
ESPN, which, by the way, side note, I fucking hate ESPN right now because they got removed from YouTube TV, which is what I use. So I have to jump through hurdles to watch Monday Night Football. But so fuck ESPN. But they're already pushing the narrative. Matthew Stafford is the MVP because he's had 3 straight games with 3 touchdowns, and the Rams are looking great and all that. I'm like, always a fucking quarterback, dude. Like, the Rams were expected to be good. Nobody had the Colts as the first seed in the AFC. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Like, it's all Jonathan Taylor. He's doing that shit with Daniel fucking Jones. Dude, it's all Jonathan Taylor. It's all Jonathan Taylor, because even Daniel Jones' success is only and solely thanks to Jonathan Taylor. I'll tell you this right now. If, God forbid, I'm knocking on wood because I don't want to see that happen. If Jonathan Taylor has to miss time, you will see Daniel Jones stink it up like he's never stunk it up before. Because the games that Jonathan Taylor has had, which has only been one, hasn't been great. Daniel Jones looks even worse. He's getting his stats out of play action passes, RPOs, with Jonathan Taylor involved. And everybody's keying on Jonathan Taylor. So he's getting open lanes. And that's what a running back does for a mediocre quarterback. But, like, Jonathan Taylor is, like, by far and clearly the guy, solely the one guy, in my opinion, that's carrying an entire team into a first seed. It shouldn't even be close. He should be a unanimous MVP. Will they give it to him? I don't know, because they're already pushing Matthew Stafford. And some people have even mentioned Drake May in the conversation. So
Big man, pretty good.
He's great, amazing, not more valuable than Jonathan Taylor.
Pretty good.
He's great, not pretty good. He's great. He's honestly been a lot better than I expected him to be, and you can make an argument he's probably the best out of, like, the 59 quarterbacks that got drafted in the first round last season. But he's not the MVP.
All right. After that, my docket shows the Giants and the Bears. Takeaways here: the Giants were winning and they lost. 0-6 on the road, and they fired their coach.
Mhm.
And now it looks like they're going to lose Jackson Dart for a moment while he deals with a concussion. He'll probably be back next, the week after, taking a week off. But them the breaks. Let's see what the Giants look like when Jackson Dart comes back after taking a week off. And they're probably going to tank this week too. Caleb Williams looking okay. Both of these quarterbacks were they were throwing the ball kind of sloppily. The fact that there weren't like 17 interceptions is a bit amazing, but they were just taking a bunch of chances. I'm going to tell you something. As far as a viewing product, it was fun to watch. I
Jackson
enjoyed
Dart
it.
is
I
fun to
mean,
watch. Yeah, Jackson Dart is
yeah,
fun to
it was
watch.
fun to watch for sure.
He got
Even Caleb
moves.
Williams, he was fun to watch. But they throw a lot of wild swings. I don't see this style of play, even for the Bears, who are currently atop of the NFC North. Um, I don't see this winning in the playoffs. It's a little too wild. A lot of playing around. I don't know that gets you wins. They're gonna have to nut up when it comes to like what they call football weather in the heart of winter. But for now, the Bears do enough to win. They beat the Giants 24-20 after the Giants were steadily in the lead. They had this
They
game well in hand,
they had a 92% chance of winning that game in the fourth quarter.
and they lost.
Bow,
Go
bow,
Giants.
bow. That
Uh,
was Dable's
right.
job. That was Dable's
It,
job
it
right
was
there.
yeah. It was a close
I
game. It
mean,
came
I have to.
down to
No, I was gonna say, as a Giants fan, I have to put you on the spot and ask you something about this game because honestly, like the biggest takeaway out of this is Brian Dable finally got fired, right? And I've been a huge critic of Brian Dable, right? I think all season, and I think the way that he mishandled Jackson Dart's concussion is probably part of the reason as well. But the bigger question to me now is when,
let
as
me
soon
ask
as
you
the head
something.
coach,
Hold on.
well, I was about to ask you something, but you'll go ahead, ask me first.
I keep hearing this. I hear this on other
Yeah.
radio shows. People talking about it. It's in chats. I get it on Instagram. How exactly did he mishandle a concussion?
Well,
You
I
you
mean,
send them
according
you send him out to the blue tent. They check him out. He comes back. What's the coach supposed to do?
I don't know the exact protocol, but what I do know is that so according to reports is that he seemed to either rush like the doctors to get through the and it's just a bad look. And the other one is that he let him in for more plays than he should have after he got hit. And then they took him in. So there was some mishandling. It doesn't mean like he broke any rules or anything like that, but for player safety and concussions are always a big deal for the media and the world and everybody. So
I'm
not
sorry, but
football
it's the
players don't
same.
care, but
I don't know if this is a question you were going to ask me, but this feels to me just like the Jaden Daniels situation. You're trying to win football games, and you're trying to put your best players out there. If he passes his concussion protocol on the spot, he goes into the blue tent, he gets checked out. They say he's good to go. Who am I to question the experts?
my question was going to be more regards to the coach because as soon as a coach gets fired, my follow up is immediately like, okay, so who's the replacement? And the Giants are a victim of this, as well as many other NFL teams, of looking for the next like hot young coach. I feel like that's what the NFL's become on coach searches, which has pushed away a lot of veteran coaches, right? Away. So my question to you is, this is what they've been doing since old man Coughlin left, looking for that new hot
Yep.
young guy. So what do you think the Giants, as a Giants fan, I'm asking, like, what do you
And
want to see
often
the Giants
striking out.
do? Yeah, what do you want? More times than none, you strike out. Sometimes you hit for sure, but what do you want to see? I'm not asking you who you think is the replacement, but would you like to see the Giants, based on the current roster, take another swing at a young hot coach coordinator, or go for like a proven head coach, whether it's from the college ranks or from the NFL?
Uh, Whoever it is, I would prefer they be defensive minded.
Okay,
Uh,
interesting with a young
these,
quarterback.
yeah, get yourself an amazing offensive coordinator, leave all the play calling, all the stuff to them, and be a defensive minded coach. These games that they've lost,
Mm.
uh, they're losing the leads they're not scoring these points right back on Jackson Dart. You feel me? They're
Right.
the defense is giving these points up. So this is at least 4 games out of a 10-win season that you were handedly in the lead and somehow botched the defense so bad that you let other teams come back and overtake you. So I can't imagine that the same situation is going to repeat itself next year, that you're going to have all of these really big leads. But someone who's defensive minded that can keep kind of the energy going on defense, know when to make subs. If somebody's getting overplayed, they're getting beaten, whatever, sub them out quick, let them get a breather, and then kind of keep playing. This is what I hope to see out of the next head coach.
So, but again, would you prefer a hot new defensive coordinator like the Jets just did with Aaron Glenn, and clearly that's not working out just yet, but it's only year 1, or do you want to see get a proven coach?
What defensive-minded, proven coaches there out there to be had?
I mean, there's plenty, to be honest with you, that have like head coaching experience. Like, for example, the Eagles defensive coordinator.
All right, so
right,
the question is, what would
Kansas
I prefer?
City, Steve Spags was a Giant before. Would you like to see him come back? You know what I mean? He's
Absolutely.
been amazing. You know what I mean? He's a veteran, right?
For sure, absolutely. I would love to see him back. Would I love to see that back? Yes. Now the problem is, the Giants did not get rid of their GM, and the GM is going to want somebody he can essentially manipulate. He's not going to want someone.
That's a great point. That is a great observation. I didn't even think about that. So that answers my question. No matter what you want, it doesn't even matter at this point, because most likely they're going to go for a young, hot coach. And when I say hot, I don't mean the looks. I mean like hot in regards to like the hot name at the moment.
I know
that's on offense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get a coach with too much backbone, it's going to rub up against the GM negatively, and it's never going to work out. So, would I want a proven coach? Absolutely. Will they get him? Probably not. You know what'd be funny? This is nuts. If they go back and get Robert Saleh and bring him back to New York with the Giants.
Oh wow, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting, because I feel it's a little too soon for him, but anything can happen, man. Especially in New York. I'm curious to see what they're going to do, because I don't think they're going to be the only team searching, right? So,
I mean, Robert Saleh, he's back in San Francisco. That team loses a player every week, and defensive-wise, they don't miss a beat.
Right. No, I agree. No, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're definitely now they can maybe strike gold this time after so many swings and misses, right? Like maybe they'll hit it over the fence. Who knows? But yeah, I think I'm leaning towards, based on what you said, I think they're probably going to go for the young guy again.
Probably. All right. Bills Dolphins. The Dolphins win this 30-13. The 13 were scored in the fourth quarter by the Bills, so it was pretty much a rout of the Bills, as much as you can possibly rout them. The Dolphins honestly are a roughing the kicker. What do you call that? Is it roughing the kicker? If not for that penalty, they probably would have won the first game too, and they would have swept the Bills this season.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing to say about this game is honestly is just turnovers, right? The Bills lost because of turnovers. They moved the ball all game, and then turned it over when they were close to scoring. So to me, that was the story. There's nothing else about it.
The same old shit with Josh Allen. He always plays down to bad teams.
He wants to be the hero.
Okay, wants to be the hero or has no other option. So he lost Kincaid at some point in the game. None of the receivers have proven reliable. You talked about it earlier, teams that don't have receivers to rely on. I mean, it's all on his shoulders. It's the burden for him to be the everything, the all running motor of this. And for better or worse, his tight end is his best receiver. He gets injured. Dawson Knox is all right, but Kincaid is his guy.
Not just that, but I talked about this before. Buffalo is one of the teams that uses the most 12 and 13 personnel, which is 2 and 3 tight end sets. So they miss Kincaid on the blocking as well. Like they've had to bring in a 6 offensive lineman on some packages to compensate for not having Dalton Kincaid. So it's not just the passing game. So you've seen James Cook suffer a little bit as well, right? So I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying that unfortunately, hero ball doesn't always work especially on divisional matchups where you're turning the ball over. So,
And I'm okay with that. Hero ball doesn't work. Okay, cool. But when you say
doesn't
he wants
always
to
work.
be the hero, yeah, he wants to be the hero. That's the part I don't agree with. I don't think he wants
You're
to
right.
be the hero. I think he has no choice.
No, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, poor wording choice. Poor choice of wording on my part.
Overall, this doesn't do too much to the standings. The Dolphins are 3-7. They basically were sellers at the trade deadline. Still no Tyreek Hill. Throw this game in the basket, call it a fluke, and kind of move on. I don't think this happens again. But
Guess
credit
what
where it's
though?
due.
Omar won because the Dolphins won. Omar goes with the Dolphins, baby. That's how it is. They win, he wins. And we talk shit that he wasn't going to
Uh,
win, and then the Dolphins came out and won, and then he won.
I wonder how many touchdowns in a row this is for Waddle. I think he has a couple of weeks straight. Nope, not a couple of weeks straight, or maybe. Nah, I was wrong. Sorry. It was one, then no, and then one. So yeah, basically, Waddle scores a touchdown, Omar wins.
Yeah, because he got to it also. Sorry about that.
All right. Anything else? Dolphins, Bills worth mentioning?
We can move on.
All right. Ravens, Vikings. What a difference Lamar Jackson makes, huh?
Oh, 100%. And dude, it's not just like on the passing game. It's also for Derrick Henry. I think it just opens up the entire game. Lamar Jackson is the guy. This is why they made some. This is why so many people say he was MVP. But even though they were the winners, something about JJ McCarthy, dude. What do you think about how he looked? I don't know if you got to see the game at all, but I think JJ
Not great.
McCarthy has. I think he had some tough moments. He still has too many incompletions, but the flashes of really great plays are there, especially when they count. That's the thing with this kid. I think he's just going to be clutch because when you need him to make a play, he makes it, even if he's stinking it up first, second down. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need him to make a play, and he does it. Just not in this game
I
because they lost. But
Yeah, I think you're definitely higher on him than I am. I think the pressure to make chemistry happen with Justin Jefferson is too high. He seems to prefer Jalen Naylor a whole bunch. But every once in a while, I guess in critical third downs, he tries to force it into Justin Jefferson, and not a lot is happening. Like you said, too many incompletions. He went 20 out of 42 pass attempts. I was just talking about how neither Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts threw even 30 passes. This guy has 42 pass attempts. Wasn't doing a ton with those. 2 interceptions also thrown there. Gets sacked. He didn't look great.
that's what I don't like about Minnesota this year. Unlike their great season with Sam Darnold, they were up 10-9 at the half, but they barely ran the ball all game. Like, to me, it's unacceptable that you're beating the Ravens at home. I don't care if it's just by 1 point, and you continue to
Work
throw
the
the
clock.
ball. You
Yep.
got to run the ball. You not just work the clock, but just also control the time of possession. Like, you know what they
Yeah.
say, like the best way to keep playmakers like Lamar Jackson off the field is by running the ball, right? Not just on defense. So I wish, and I get it because Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason they're not home run hitters, dude. Like, they're just not. I mean, Aaron Jones was at one point, not anymore, right? But they need an explosive running back in
I
there.
think he still has some of that. He has to entirely get over that injury he has. But there's still some of that in Aaron Jones. But honestly, yeah.
They should have ran the ball more. Anyways, that's the point. They should have ran the ball
Absolutely. Yes.
They should have ran the ball more.
All combined, they didn't even have 20 carries. They didn't have 20 carries combined, and that includes 5 from J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, they winning the game at home. I would be running the ball until they stop me. 3 yards
They
in a
did no
cloud of
such thing.
dust all day, every day.
Yep. All right. So Lamar Jackson, bringing him back. That division, the AFC North, is interesting. It's really,
Up
really
for
close.
grabs. It's up for grabs.
For sure. And Lamar missing like 4 games, and they're still in it. That's an interesting
Yeah,
division.
it's up for grabs, and
Uh,
anything could happen.
the Jets. Is this 2 in a row for them? The
Yeah,
Jets
it
are
is.
2-7. Now the Browns are 2-7. Um, it was a bit of a back and forth game. The Jets made history. They ran back 2 touchdown returns in the first quarter, like that had never happened. And they just kind of rode it out till the end until they got the victory, 27-20. Not a ton to write home about. Dylan Gabriel still ass. 32 pass
How
attempts
are
for only
there
167 yards.
how is there people defending Dylan Gabriel? Like, how are there people out there defending this dude?
What's the defense? What have you heard?
I have no idea, dude. Just people are saying that he's better than Shador. If Shador is not better than Dylan Gabriel, Shador shouldn't even be in an NFL roster. Like, that's just what it gets down to be honest with you. He shouldn't even be in a CFL roster. Like, did you see that? I don't know if you saw the touchdown that Dylan Gabriel threw to Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if you saw that. Like, my man threw the
Jerry
ball
Jeudy.
from he threw the ball like from the 30, and he's like, just like putting everything to it, and he throws a little floater underthrown from the 30-yard line. This guy has no arm. Like, that was actually it. Almost he's left-handed. It almost looked like he was right-handed. He's throwing with his left. No, it looked like he's right-handed. He was throwing with his left. Like, it was horrible. I mean, it was a touchdown, but it was such a bad throw. It's like, this guy's ass, dude. And Cleveland sucks.
It was all Jerry Jeudy, and I'm not high on Jerry Jeudy. I've never been a buyer on him.
Yeah, it was horrible. But Breece Hall looked good, though. That's the one fantasy thing just to talk about. Like, Breece Hall looked pretty good in the Jets.
They gave him plenty of work. What you just criticized the Vikings for not doing. Yeah. So basically, they gave the ball to Breece Hall over and over and over. Just let him run out the clock, protect your lead, and ultimately ended up winning.
Yep, 100%.
All right, so 2 teams that are 2-7. The home team won, and we move on. Patriots and Buccaneers. Man, the Patriots surprised me there. The story going around is that the Patriots have beat every team in the NFC South. So they are the NFC South champs. They went through all of them, and they are undefeated.
They took down. Patriots, I can't believe they lost to the Raiders week 1, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's confusing. That's one of those things that just kind of happens. That's one of those things that make you feel like NFL is rigged, and this is how you're going to lose a ton of like money at Vegas and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't get Mike Vrabel's system on the first game, and then they got it later on. Because if you're 8-2 and you lost the first game, it means you've been in a pretty good run.
But Vrabel was it not Vrabel? No, Vrabel was the coach for the Titans.
Yeah, he was. This is his first year in the Patriots.
Yeah. For 1 second, I thought it was McDaniel that was coaching the Patriots. My bad.
No, he's the offensive coordinator. He was there last year too, under Jared Mayo, I think, as the offensive coordinator. But he was not that coach. He's a horrible
game gone wrong.
Yeah, no, but I mean the Patriots have been looking good, dude. And Travion Henderson just had like the game of his life, dude. I think that's the key thing. And I loved the play with the game stealing touchdown, basically. You know what I mean? When he looked back at the bench to see if he had to score or not. It was pretty good. Great performance. And Drake May, like we said earlier, I think he's a lot better than I think a lot of people expect him to be. So I've been super high on Baker and the Bucs. You know that, right? We've Emeka Egbuka did his thing, like we always talk about every week when he plays, because obviously he was out. You know what I mean? He did his thing. Rashad White disappoints, like you always said. You don't trust Rashad White, so he disappointed. So, they gave Sean Tucker some looks. He might be a waiver wire pickup. Who knows? Baker had a lot of great plays. Bucks did what they did, man, but the Patriots just did more of it. Gotta give them credit.
Baker and the Bucks are playing from behind, so it was a heavy passing game. He threw the ball 43 times, kind of out of necessity. You were trying to make something happen. Emeka Egbuka is essentially the only reliable wide receiver there, and he's a rookie, so that's a lot of weight to carry there. I mean, he showed up. Props to him. But yeah, they are sincerely lacking in the passing game. Baker's throwing it, but there's not a ton of people to throw to.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I don't think Tampa Bay just looked bad. I think New England just looked better. Like they, you know what I mean? So it was just one of those games
Agreed.
where, you know, two teams played really good football and just one just played better at the end. You know?
Agreed. And Stephon Diggs getting back into the end zone. This connection is looking pretty good.
Yeah, man.
The future's
Yeah.
bright for New England, and they're atop of the AFC East. Interesting there.
I fucking hate that they got like they were able to
They
turn
did
around
it
so quick
again.
after Tom Brady. I'm so
They,
pissed that they turned it around so quick after Tom Brady. I was like fucking mocking all these Patriots fans,
hold
dude.
on though. I feel like they had what 4 to 5 bad years. What is so quick?
That is a very quick turnaround, dude. From coming from a dynasty, the Raiders haven't been able to turn it around in almost 30 years. The Giants have been able to turn it around in like what in over 10 years. It takes time, dude. It takes time to come back. It's not easy. It took the Chiefs like 50 years to become a
Hmm.
dynasty. Like, 4 years is a very quick turnaround, super quick.
I don't think they're all the way turned around. I mean, they're okay. They're winning games. It's regular season. Let's see what happens. There's still 8 weeks to play with. The Patriots haven't had their bye week yet, so let's see what happens when the schedule gets a little tougher. What does that schedule look like for the Patriots?
Let me check, but I will say this: like, it's
Oh,
not about
they,
this
they
season.
still got the Jets twice. They got the Bengals who can be
They got
beat. They
the
got the
they got the
Giants
Giants. They got Bills and Ravens
and they
though.
got the Dolphins.
They got Bills
Yeah,
and
but
Ravens though.
even if you lose Bills and Ravens and you win the rest of those games, which are winnable games, they're gonna finish the season what
13-4.
13-4.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. Shit, what a
yeah. I
year to
mean,
be a Patriots fan.
no, dude, and like even if they obviously I'm not saying they're gonna win this year, but when I say quick turnarounds, that they've become again a respectable franchise and they have a very good core to work with moving forward,
Yeah, I feel it.
from coaching staff to young talent to quarterback leader to defense. They have all the pieces. They just got to add more to it, and keep developing these young guys. That's it. Like it's there. The core is there. You can't make fun of the Patriots anymore. I thought you could, especially week 1. They lose to the Raiders. I'm like, the Patriots fucking suck, because I knew the Raiders suck and they just lost. I'm like, dude, they're going nowhere. So I was wrong.
The Carolina Panthers defense sucks, huh?
They've had good games though.
They've won games. I don't know if they won necessarily due to defense, or maybe they were just tired. But I feel like Tyler Shuck, who we were just talking about how bad he is, he kind of showed them up. He didn't look too bad, this guy. 19 completions for 282 yards. That's an average of about 10 yards per pass.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Bryce Young didn't play great. Didn't play too bad either. But um,
Look, I
I
don't want to
mean,
look. I don't want to take any credit away from the Panthers' 5-5 record but the reality is that in my opinion they are massive overachievers at 5-5. This is not a good football team, but you can't
but
take away
this
the
is
fact that they've won.
if there was a chance for them to win
They,
any game, this should have been it. I don't know how they
but
lose this
but
one
because they're a bad
at
football
home.
team, and every single win in those 5 wins that the Panthers have all been shockers, upsets. Like, so I can't take that credit away from them, but everybody knows they're not a good football team. So them losing to the Saints isn't surprising to me. And again, it's a divisional matchup, so anything can happen in a divisional matchup. But I don't feel like there's much to talk about this team. They're not a good football team, and the Saints are not a good football team either. They're probably even worse. So this is to me like that Jets and Browns game, but the NFC version of it.
Do we ever see Spencer Rattler again?
No, I don't think so. They
Unless
Tyler
Shuck
Shaw is
gets injured.
right. I mean, he's a rookie, so once they start him, like they're committing to him, so they're gonna give him a shot unless they bring somebody like a veteran in. Spencer Rattler's
Speaking
ass,
of
anyways,
veterans
dude.
that get too many shots, the Jaguars. How long are we going to do this?
They lost because of him,
Trevor
dude. I don't give
Trevor
a fuck
Lawrence.
that
How long
Davis.
are we gonna do
I,
this?
I I don't care that Davis Mills scored in the last minute with like a really cool play and all that, and they were almost about to win. Trevor Lawrence is ass, and he got paid, and they're not going to release him because he got paid because they don't want to be on the hook for that money. So how long are we going to do this for? However long he's left in the contract. Same thing the Giants did with Daniel Jones. Let this contract play out, take your losses, and move on. That's what I think is going to happen.
Um,
Brian Thomas is in year 2. Travis Hunter's in year 1. You got Beisel
Travis
Tootin that's in
Hunter,
year
year
1.
one, and he's down for the year. He's not
Yeah, but
coming back.
my point is they can still take. I don't know how long is in Trevor Lawrence's contract. I don't know how long is that, but it can't be more than 2 or 3 years. So let's say it's 3 years. These guys are still going to be well in their prime to bring somebody in. So I think they're just going to play it out and let it roll.
Yeah, I think
He's
so too.
ass.
So the Jaguars lost a lead that they had. They allowed 26 points in the fourth quarter.
Total meltdown.
That's about as much as most teams score in a whole game. 26 points in the fourth quarter alone. And still, Trevor Lawrence can't throw a touchdown in the end zone. The numbers, I don't have them in hand, but my eyes tell me he is the worst end zone, red zone quarterback there ever. Of all active quarterbacks, he has to be the worst.
And you can like watch the box score and say like, oh, this is the defense's fault because they gave up 26 points in the fourth quarter. No, that's not true. This has more to do with Trevor Lawrence and that offense because in the fourth quarter, all they did was punt and then turn it over with a fumble when they needed to retain the ball. Like, and this all falls on Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's just that fumble was so humiliating because it was a sack fumble, if I'm not mistaken, and Trevor Lawrence he just looks like clueless, dude. Like you can't if you're on defense, you're like we're in bad positions because of this fucker. Like, of course they're gonna give up 26 points. So yeah, man, I'm done with Trevor Lawrence, dude. He's pretty bad. Thank God I never stuck up for him.
Hawks beat the Cardinals, another division game. They just found a way to fuck me.
But
I have no other.
pause.
They scored 44 points, and somehow, I'm going to read this. Somehow, Sam Darnold gets me less than 3 fantasy points. This is just the absolute epitome of ridiculousness, man.
I mean, and even then,
2.92 fantasy points. He threw one passing touchdown just to get half of those points taken away with an interception.
Less than 200 yards, 10 completions, 12 attempts. And Jackson Smith and Jigba still put up 501. Like this, I mean, it wasn't 100, it was 93. But, dude, this guy is just literally every week. Even when that, and again, the Vikings need to take some notes on this because they ran the ball. The Seahawks ran the ball 552 times in this game. So that's why it wasn't that Sam Darnold played bad. The game plan was like we're just going to run it down their throat, and both running backs got 14 carries. So
protect the lead. I don't know, dude. They scored 44 points. I have 4 now after the Rashid Shaheed trade. I have 4 Seahawks on my team. The Seahawks are 7-2, and I think I add all of these scores up, and they don't come out to 30 points. I didn't start any of them, honestly. Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed were all on the bench. I only started Sam Darnold. But add them all up, I don't have 30 points among all 4 of them.
Don't you have Jackson
how do I
Smith
win
and
this
Jigba,
week?
though?
No, not in this league.
Oh, okay. I thought you had him in this league. Well, too bad.
I have him in another league. Yeah.
I asked you last week, and I'll ask you again because it's gonna take us right to the next game. Seahawks or Rams? I feel like it's worth asking.
Rams?
You said Rams.
I think it's still Rams. Yeah, it's still Rams.
I feel like every week we got to ask that question until they play each other.
The thing about the Rams is I'm clear on how they're beating other teams. They have great defense. They have a solid running game, and Matt Stafford is playing out of his mind.
That sounds like Seattle. I'm sorry. That sounds just like Seattle. What you just said.
I don't know that Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind. He's doing
Yeah,
enough
he
to
is.
win.
He's playing out of his
Doing
mind, in
enough
my
to win.
opinion. I wouldn't say okay.
He's doing enough to win. The running game is solid. The running game is solid, and actually it's split up between Charbonnet and Walker.
Yeah,
So
for
if either
fantasy
one of them
purposes, isn't
goes,
great, but in real
yeah,
in
for
real
real
football,
life,
it's really good.
yeah, I was just about to say, if either one of them goes down, the other one picks up the slack.
Right.
Um, I think outside of Njigba, though, it gets really thin. Like their best receiver is Cooper Kupp, and now that they got Shaheed, maybe
And they had Troy
uh,
Horton that missed the game. Troy Horton didn't even play.
he's
That's
he's
because
going to
I
be
picked him
fighting
up.
for opportunities. Yeah. But the Rams, I mean, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, stout
That
defense,
that's
Matthew
Devontae
Stafford.
Adams guy. That guy is washed, isn't he?
Gosh, done. Put a fork in him.
Jeez. He looked really bad against the 49ers, dude. What a
Uh,
waste.
I don't know how anybody starts him. It's ridiculous.
I don't even know why the Rams play him.
They shouldn't. What a waste of
Mm-mm.
money. The Rams beat the 49ers. The game ended 42-26. Matthew Stafford throws for 4 touchdowns. These go to Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Colby Parkinson, and Davis Allen.
Not bum ass
Shit.
Devontae Adams. Blocking
Yeah,
on
no.
screens. Loser.
How dare he ever play for the team? He went 6 for 8 in targets. He led the league in all passing yards with 77. What can I tell you? He has to
Matthew
retire
Stafford.
after this, right? He should
Matthew
have retired
Stafford's
at
been
halftime.
amazing. I would be okay if the NFL gives Matthew Stafford the Offensive Player of the Year award and gives the MVP to Jonathan Taylor. I would be perfectly okay
Mm.
with that because I think that would be the fair way to go about it. The way that these Rams are playing, amazing. 49ers, honestly, I feel like the injury bug is not. I'm not gonna say it finally hurt them, but all those injured guys, they need them. They need them to beat a team like the Rams. Like it's clear, right? It was pretty clear.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. This game, the score is further than it was. It actually looked like it was tighter at some point. Like it, this is a stupid thing to say, but you take out the 14 points in the first quarter, and after that, they were neck and neck.
Yeah,
So it took San Francisco a while to get their footing, but after that, they were just trading scores.
yeah, and these games normally go tight between these two teams. I love
Yep.
watching these two teams because this is like honestly like two BFFs playing Madden in real life. Like that's honestly what it is. Because between Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, like they're best buddies. You know what I mean? So like they go way back, and it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Just seeing them go at each other. It's always fun. So I um I love watching these games. These teams are so well coached. They run very similar offenses, but with slightly different wrinkles. But like for example, if Patrick Willis was on that team on that game, I don't think the Rams would have been able to run the ball like they did. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason why these injuries are just they're difficult. They're difficult and they're starting to take a toll on the 49ers.
I mean, eventually you knew that it was going to catch up to them, but it was all in all, injuries to the side. It was not a bad effort. 26 points. Again, you take out those 14 points in the first quarter, they still lose by 2, but overall, it looked really competitive.
Deserved. All right, dude. We're almost at an hour and we haven't even gotten to our fantasy football league. So let's kind of dash through these next ones, man. We are
What is there else to talk about? The Lions just stomped all over the Commanders. The Commanders have no chance with all the injuries they have. Sunday Night Football was a stinker. The Chargers beat the Steelers. This is the worst that Aaron Rodgers has probably ever looked. He had a garbage time touchdown to kind of save this game, but for the longest time, the Chargers were winning whatever 2-3.
mm-hmm.
They got a safety when Aaron Rodgers that ran back like a million yards and got taken in the end zone.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, this wasn't a good look. He looked like a doddering old man this week. Um,
Once
on the
again,
road,
both the Broncos and the Chargers won. That doesn't help the Chiefs once again.
keep the foot on their neck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so that's basically everything NFL. We talked about all the games. For those of you keeping score at home,
Yeah,
before we started recording, we said we weren't going to talk about all the games. Like not
and we
everyone
did.
was worth mentioning, and we did. In week 10 of the League of Haters, uh, the biggest blowout
Since
of the
we
week was
since we
Cousin
talked about
Juan.
all the NFL games, just go through the matchups and then we'll just go straight to week 11, just to save some time.
Yeah. All right. So Cousin Juan was the biggest blowout of the week. He beats La Maldición Inca, that's Joel Vasquez's team, by 35. Sorry, Joel Reyes' team, 35 to 9. It was 138.62 to 102.64. The blowout deficit was 35.98 points. Joel Vasquez's team beat me. I should have had this game well in hand. I was looking pretty good after Rico Dotto scored a touchdown, but after that, it was all downhill. The Seahawks really found a way to fuck me. I lost by
Dude, you got to
21
stop
points.
saying that. It just sounds so weird when you say that.
They fucked me. They put me up against the wall and they just fucking did some jailhouse shit. They fucked me. Any damn way. Tuata Locoe gets a win this week. He beats the Purge. The Purge now dropped to 12 in the league. They're the worst team in our fantasy football league. Joel Rito, do something. Try to get competitive. Make a trade. I've been posting all of these articles about how nobody wants to make trades anymore. Um, I feel like this league was ahead of the game on that. They haven't been wanting to make trades since God knows when. The Lion Kings won. This was a game that you were projected to lose. You beat the Wakanda Panthers. The Wakanda Panthers were on a 4 or 5 game slide, and then they stopped it, and then they got right back on that horse.
Mm-hmm.
And now your team is 5-5. There was a time when the Panthers were 3-0, and they were leading the league. They were up on top. Now they're ninth and looking out of the playoffs.
I should be
Lion
seven and
Kings,
three. I had 2 games that I've lost for like about a point or two. 2 games.
such is life. El Monte Candela, 5-5, currently in 6th place, holding on to the last playoff spot, but he lost this week. It took an L to Giga's team, who's currently in 2nd place, 6-4. Cousin Juan moves into the top 3 by beating La Maldición Inca, and the system holds it down. They're 8-2 in 1st place. They beat Screenshots 2024. Dude, you talk about you should be whatever you should be. I've taken losses to Tuata Locoe, Screenshots, and Joel Vasquez's team, who at the time were 3 of the worst teams in all of fantasy. Like I've missed 3 game-winning layups essentially.
I mean,
I
I
hate
lost a
this.
screenshot too.
Yeah, but you were all injured. That was a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Let's stay on screenshots. So screenshots 2024 currently at 4-6. They're the 10th team overall. They're playing against the 12th team overall, the 3-7, the Purge. I don't know what's going on here. Well, for the Purge, he's going to get Dak Prescott back. He's going to get CeeDee Lamb. That's the stack. If you got him, you got to start him. Aside from that, he's not going to have Indy this week, so no Michael Pittman Jr. Garrett Wilson is supposed to come back soon. I don't know if it's going to be against New England. They play on Thursday, so I don't think he's going to be back by then. It's a short week. Maybe he had a chance if it was like a Sunday or Monday game. So looking for some players to replace. There are 3 players on this team that I absolutely love, and if he would find it in himself to trade him to me, I am willing to give him a good package. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Kyron Williams. Any given week, this could be a matchup that's good enough to put you over. The Cowboys are playing the Raiders at Vegas. I mean, they're on the road, but for what it's worth, it should be an easy matchup for them to put up a lot of points. The only detracting factor taking away from CeeDee Lamb is the fact that George Pickens is playing so well. But this should be a big game for them. All in all, I think they may surprise Screenshot and win this game.
I don't think so. And the way that this fantasy league has been going, Screenshots is 4-6, and Purge is 3-7. So I can totally see Screenshots winning. So make it 5-6 to make the standing even more complicated. Josh Allen's going to have a bounce back game, in my opinion, right? I think Debo's getting some use. Brees Hall was alive, so I don't know how he'll do in New England, but you have Jamar Chase. He's back, so he's going to get added up in the top, and I'm guessing Chase Brown as well. So, and I'm guessing Pacheco as well. So those are three guys that he's probably going to start up in the bench. We make fun of Screenshots because he's like found ways to screw it up, but I think just talent wise alone, based on what the season's been going on, I think Screenshots got a better shot. And then just looking at the records, I just think this fantasy is just going to keep getting very heavy between the second spot and the 11th spot. So I think Screenshots wins.
And, I'm taking the Purge. I think they surprise. I do not like the matchups over on the Screenshot side. Dude, it's really cold in the Northeast. Buffalo, even colder. They're basically at the foot of Canada. It's going to be a raining game against Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay in every sense. So you already broke it down.
I guess the Purge winning would also make this fantasy then go from 2 to 12. So, because then they would both be 4-7, and they'd still be in it. So this fantasy is insane. This league is insane this year.
I'm telling you, it's usually that close. GAD 6-4 in second place. They're going up against the Wakanda Panthers. These teams are both like every week you see them, they're going to be at the precipice of hitting a home run. That being said, I believe that the defense for Buffalo is exploitable to Baker Mayfield. I don't see him taking another loss in consecutive weeks. Amon-Ra St. Brown is playing against Philadelphia. Tough matchup. But that's going to be the one to watch. Sunday night football game, the Lions against the Eagles in Philly, under the rain potentially. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been finding his way into the end zone recently. Josh Jacobs is automatic. He's playing against the New York Giants. I think for good measure, he might get into the end zone twice, or he may tear an ACL because they're playing at MetLife. So anything can really happen. Who is the backup tight end? Dallas Goedert. Oof. Yeah, dude. I like the matchups on the side of GAD. I think their home run potential is actually higher than that of the Wakanda Panthers. And the Wakanda Panthers, they found another way to lose, and I can see it going for another week.
I mean,
I'm gonna back to GAD.
Going back to the trading, dude, like GAD has Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford has had an amazing season. He already had his bye week. Baker Mayfield has had an amazing season. He already had his bye week. So you can't start them both. Like, this is the point of the season where if I'm GAD, I'm looking to trade one of these guys to solidify one of my other positions. Like, you rotating these guys back and forth week to week, trying to guess. Like, these, I wouldn't bench any of them. I don't care who they're playing. Like, at this point, I wouldn't bench any of them. So, like, you trying to play the matchup, you might just be, like, overplaying yourself out of fantasy. So, I would try to look for a trade there. There is need for a quarterback. Wakanda Panthers, I think I'm going with Wakanda Panthers. And the main thing here is because I think T. Higgins will get bumped up to the starting lineup. And T. Higgins with Joe Flacco has revived his fantasy career. I think that's a huge, huge one. And I also think Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who has not been great, will have a good shot to be good against Miami. So if he does find a way to put him in that roster, I don't know where specifically. And Devontae Adams.
I was just gonna say, who do you start him over?
But I'm just saying, like, the options are there. And then Devontae Adams is a football, a touchdown machine this season, dude. I like Wakanda Panthers to win this one. Again, just to make the league just that much more complicated, right? But it should be a good matchup. Should be a good matchup, man. And trade one of your quarterbacks, Guica. I think your team will be a lot better if you do that.
Paki at 4:00. potentially America's game of the week. It's the two teams we were talking about. It's the Seahawks against the Rams.
I know, dude. That's gonna be a hell of a game, bro.
That's the one to watch.
Yeah, that's gonna
Take
be
a
a
nap,
game.
rest up. They
I am
play
not gonna be
again.
watching Red Zone. I'm not gonna be watching Red Zone when they play. I'm gonna be watching that game.
Interesting choice. Okay. It'll be the first time they face off their division rivals, so they're going to see the same
Mm-hmm.
teams again in about a month in December. But yeah, this is going to be a game to watch. All
Is it
right, so
in
you're going
L.A.
with
or Seattle?
it's in LA.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So that is that. I'm going with Ika. You said you're going with the Panthers. All right, interesting choice. And Monte Candela going up against the system. Before I say anything else, I just want to say fuck Gary. And this is going to be a tough one.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's going to be a tough one for me to pick against Gary. But yeah, it looks like his
Oh
team is going to
no.
win this automatic.
Oh no, I disagree. I don't think
what?
Gary's gonna win at all. I don't think Gary's winning this week.
No, Jonathan Taylor's enough to have him lose.
That's it. No Jonathan Taylor. He's human again. I think Monty's gonna win this one. I think that's my
Ooh.
person. That's what it gets down to. I don't think there's much to talk about from my side. I think
These are
Monty got it.
two very shrewd individuals. They play their benches very well. I think you move up Jahmyr Gibbs and sit Alvin Kamara. Then that means you're going to move Rashid Rice potentially to one of the starter spots, possibly
Correct.
one of the flexes, and put in whoever the hell on defense. And yeah, you give us a really huge swing, and you got a chance. I mean, Bijan Robinson is going up against Carolina. Like we said before, anything can happen in division matchups, and this is going to be a true test of how shitty the Carolina defense is. All that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick in Monte Candela. Let's
Me
keep this
too.
interesting. Let's
No
keep it
Jonathan
all
Taylor.
in
No
scoring
W.
distance.
No
It's
Jonathan
that
Taylor.
simple
No
for you.
W. That's simple for
Wow.
me. That's it.
Justin
It's that
Herbert
simple.
leads the league in rushing yards from a scrambling quarterback. You
He
don't give
can
a
lead
shit,
the
huh?
league in fucking Nathan's hot dogs in Coney Island. I don't give a shit. No Jonathan Taylor, you ain't winning.
And George Pickens is going to make it back into the starting lineup. Travis Kelce back in the starting lineup. It's that simple for you. No JT, no win. Okay. I guess we both picking Monte Candela. Oh, the Lion Kings currently at 5-5 on the outside looking in, but in the hunt is what they call it for the playoff spot. Is going up against 6-4, currently in third place. Hurts so good. A battle of two Eagles fans.
Yes, sir. Go Birds.
I hate to do this to you, Paki, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Hurts so good.
You do that every week, and you're wrong most of the weeks.
But I
well,
always hate
actually,
it.
you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Well, you're not. I don't know if you've picked me every time.
You're 5-5, so I'm wrong half of the times.
Assuming you picked me on the ones that I won, that's the thing. I don't think you have. So, yeah, man, I'm picking myself, dude. What are you talking about, man? I don't give a shit that I'm picking myself, dude. And I think my only doubt this week, because I'll just talk about my team. Obviously, I just don't know what's gonna happen with Brian Thomas. So depending on what happens with him, I'll see if I start one of my other wide receivers, which is probably going to be Jacoby Myers, which he sucks, but we'll see what happens because Trevor sucks. But other than that, I like my team, dude. I'm very confident in my lineup. I think I'm going to have a good week. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to give me fantasy points. I would like to see him score a rushing touchdown against the Bears. You know what I mean? Nico Collins is back. Kamani Vidal is back. You know,
he beat the Bears once, didn't he? Right? The JJ McCarthy has a win against the Bears. That was his first game, his best game so far.
I don't care if he wins or loses. I just need him to score a rushing touchdown, and then just whatever else happens. I don't give a fuck if he loses, but I think I got this.
Sorry, dude. A rainy game in Philly on Sunday night. I'm thinking that's going to be a lot of leg work for Jalen. A lot of tush pushing, a lot of Jalen looking to get into the end zone, possibly on a tush push. A lot of potential for fumbles too.
I could be
Let me see
wrong.
here.
I could be wrong, but I think the Lincoln has grass.
Yeah, wet football is what I'm counting on. So Devontae A-Chain has an opportunity to score another 100-plus yards and 2 touchdowns against Washington. The George Kittle trade, man, this actually worked out great for both teams, I want to
Yeah,
say.
it's grass on the rain. I had to say that. I'm sorry, grass. So it makes the rain even more slippery.
Yep. Look for fumbles. Juwan Jennings, is this someone who you started only because of? Nope, I guess not. There's no one really on the bench that I would start over him. I thought maybe this was like a bye week fill in, but nope, not so much. Tell me about Austin Gentry. You watch the Raiders for sure more than I do. Is this
Well, the
projection
thing
any good?
I don't know. The Raiders lost their best guard. Jackson Powers Johnson is out, so he's not playing. So the Raiders O line is bad, and they lost their best run blocker. So they'll probably be worse. What works on the favor of the Raiders is, they're playing Dallas, which they're horrible against the
Their
run, but
defense sucks.
right, so it could go either way. You know what I mean? But Ashton Genty has looked a lot better, dude. I mean, as an individual, it's just a matter of if the Raiders can, still open up holes for him without Jackson Powers Johnson. It could happen this week versus Dallas, so we'll see what happens. But I don't
Honestly,
think
the
it'll
only
happen the
player that
rest.
I'm not too enthused by on this team is Juwan Jennings, and honestly, he might be the only option for the 49ers. But all of these guys are like first options on their team. Even Devontae Smith is stepping up and showing up more than AJ Brown. So I like this team. I like the matchups they have this week. I'm sorry, Paki. I hate to do this to you, but it's going to hurt so good.
I like it better that way.
Joel Vasquez got back into the race. He's currently 4-6, and he's going up against 5-5 Tuataloco, another team that's in the hunt, 5-5, looking on the outside, looking into the playoff race. Um, yeah, I don't think that Joel Vasquez has 2 in a row this week. I mean, he only scored 100 points. This wasn't so much about him winning as it was about me losing. Um, Even starting Lamar Jackson and Justin Jefferson, who just has no chemistry with J.J. McCarthy. I don't see well, maybe Trey McBride loses his mind and then does another 2 touchdown games. As long as Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback, there's a chance. You know what? I know you're probably going to pick Tuataloco, so just for the sake of controversy, shaking it up and getting back in the race, I'm going to go with Joel Vasquez this week. Not too confident in that pick, though.
No, I'm going with Tuataloco. I mean, I expect again, good weeks from Emeka, from Saquon, from Travion Henderson. And anything that happened with Miami, clearly we don't even know anymore, right? So he also doesn't have a lot of bye weeks, right?
They're
And the
going up
problem with
against Washington.
that could go either way. But the thing with Joel Vasquez is that he's got Chris Olave in a bye week, and then you're like, so who's going to bring up? So it's probably going to be Roma Dunze. And I don't know, like this guy even put up a week with 0 points. Like he's like boom or bust. So it can go either way. I think
I
Tua
mean,
Tagovailoa is the
that's pretty
safer
much
one.
Chris Olave.
Yeah, I don't like Chris Olave either. It's just you're just replacing somebody that's been bad with somebody that's worse. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, I asked the question this week, and Cousin Juan seemed to think that he came back to bite me in the ass. It is what it is. I believe in fair play. Joe Vasquez is carrying too many defensive players, and his starting running back is Chuba Hubbard, and that's it. You don't really have a ton of options at running back. Shit, I might be inclined to even try to put in Ramondre Stevenson just for shits and giggles. I mean, Chuba
Is
Hubbard
Chuba
lost that spot.
is Chuba droppable at this point? Like that's
Yes,
the question, honestly, because he lost his job
yes,
100%. He lost his job, and he's not getting that back.
absolutely. Nope. And that's that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Only one matchup left. It's 5-5, currently in fourth place. Two girls, one cup, going up against 5-5 in fifth place. La Maldición Inca. Maldición Inca has been kind of on a slide recently. Like they were at the top of the league, and now they're 5-5. They got a lot to prove this week. I'll let you talk about them. Uh, my team essentially is going to get me as far as the Seahawks are going to take me. If Sam Darnold has another stinker like that, I don't see a way that I can get back into this game. Puka Nacua has to have a big game. It was a little disappointing. He got into the end zone, but not a ton of yards, not all the catches he's used to. Jalen Warren was doing whatever the hell he wanted last game. It didn't really amount to a bunch of touchdowns, but he was running the ball hard. And this after you said he might have lost his job to Kenneth Gainwell. Hell to the no. Jalen Warren against Cincinnati, expect a big game from him. Division matchup, have to show up. Got to stop the bleeding. Christian McCaffrey had a poor week against the Rams, basically because they were playing from behind the whole game. And I know he factors in largely on the passing game, but they were kind of going for broke. They weren't trying to work like the shallow game. I have to find a kicker. I'll pick up whomever the hell. But yeah, it'll be tight, but I think I have enough to win this week.
You have a good group of running backs, dude. A great group of running backs.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah. But on the other side, like I think the reason why Maldición Inca's been on a slide, I think it's because of bye weeks. Patrick Mahomes was on bye week like the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about not just last week. Patrick Mahomes had his bye week. Drake London had his bye week. Jake Ferguson had his bye week. Quentin Johnson had his bye week. I think Jordan Mason had his bye week. Like all of these players have had their bye weeks, right? So it's been really tough. And last week he didn't have Patrick Mahomes, right? So I think I'm still going to pick two girls in one cup because the running back group I think is just too strong. And I don't know what Sam Darnold is. I don't know what Sam Darnold is going to do against the LA Rams defense. I don't expect them to put up a lot of points, but in a divisional game, the best players normally ball out. So at least Puka should, put up a score. That's normally how it goes down, right? So I still like that team, but I can see the opportunity with Patrick Mahomes back, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Same logic applies that I use for Puka, right? Drake London versus Carolina. Their defense isn't great. Jake Ferguson is back. Quentin Johnston. Like there's opportunities for a lot of home run hitters here on this team.
You know
So
what?
it can go either way.
I have a decision to make. I'm gonna hold this one basically until Sunday morning, but I think I might start Joe Flacco, honestly.
That would not be a bad idea, honestly. I mean, Pittsburgh's defense is no joke either, and it's a divisional matchup as well. So I feel like the same logic applies to Joe Flacco as it does to Sam Darnold. But they have been throwing it a lot more. So,
I kind of trust in the connection with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Whenever he shows up, he shows up. He's not no Justin Jefferson. Yeah. He for sure shows up.
Bengals are a pass first team. Seahawks are a run first team. So I get it.
Yeah.
But the same logic, I feel, situation applies to both teams for this week.
The thing that Yahoo doesn't take into consideration, like they put the little at Pittsburgh thing in green, indicating to me that it's a good passing. It's a good passing opportunity. They're bad at pass defense, but what they don't tell you is that the pass rush is amazing. They're going to be up in his face the whole game. The whole game. That's the only thing that kind of scares me. But I'll wait till closer to game time and I'll make up my mind then.
I still got you though.
You praised my running backs. I mean, I'm willing to part with some of them if I get the right deal. I'm looking to get a everyday second wide receiver. I wouldn't mind an upgrade at quarterback, but honestly, Joe Burrow's back at practice, so maybe he comes just in time to help me out in the playoffs. And I can part with Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I wish I had a wide receiver and a need for running back. I feel like I'm comfortable with my running backs, and I need receivers also. But that'd be a good negotiation.
I think
there's nothing for me to offer you.
Yeah. I was talking to the league. Let's make it happen. The league trade deadline is the 22nd, so we got about when this episode comes out, we're gonna have about a little over a week, like 9 days left to make a trade. So let's lock in. Let's lock in for that last push. After this Sunday, everybody should be more clearly defined on their objectives. You're either trying to make the playoffs or just trying to win the entire league. If you're not in it, just do something. Shake it up. Shake it up because we are a logjam. Damn near every team is either 4-6 or 5-5.
Guica, send me one of your quarterbacks. I'll give you one of my running backs. What I want.
We had a coach's corner planned, but this episode kind of got away from us, man. We went long. Do you still want to do it?
Fuck yeah, I still want to do it.
All right, so do it.
Like I said, like to me, this is more than just a drive. Just a play. It's the drive. They stopped Atlanta, so they already know that they can win with a field goal. And once they get past the 50, they decide to run the ball, which is what the smart thing to do is. But they go. All their runs were gap run schemes, which are normally more power plays instead of zone runs. And I think I've talked about the difference between that. So as an offensive line coach, I love this. I'm pretty sure that the conversation on the sideline was offensive line, Jonathan Taylor, let's go win this game. Let's go be physical. Let's go dominate these last few possessions. And that's exactly what they did. And this last one, dude, was a thing of beauty. They ran counter like 3 times in this drive. They ran it again here. What I like personally about this is that they're running counter the old school way. They're going heavy, 13 personnel, although it looks like 22 because you have a tight end lined up as a fullback, but that is Tyler Warren. That is a tight end. So they got 3 tight ends in, so it's 13 personnel. You got 1 receiver in. Heavy package, which is the package that they used all the way from 3rd and 2 when they were at the 40 that they got that first down. So like the last 4 or 5 plays, it was 13 personnel the whole time, all gap plays, right? Like I talked about. So counter, right? They're going counter right, and they're going what's called GH counter. In this case, it would be more like GF counter because it's with the fullback. So you're going to have your best offensive lineman, Quentin Nelson, your left guard, pull right here for a kick out, to kick out the end right here at the edge. You're going to have Tyler Warren fake to the left like any counter would, right? And then come back around to lead block. And he's supposed to get this safety right here, which he doesn't. He's supposed to get this safety right here. He goes for the cornerback. He leaves Jonathan Taylor one-on-one with the safety, and Jonathan Taylor does what Jonathan Taylor does best. He puts the moves on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he froze him and scored. And then the offensive line, like this offensive line, dude, you're going to see the wall that they create of down blocks. So a down block, for you guys that don't know, is just basically when a lineman blocks them basically on an angle, 45-degree or angle to the opposite way of where the run is going. It's necessary in every gap scheme run. So they create a wall. Quentin Nelson creates the kick out, creates the lane. Tyler Warren goes right up the lane, lead blocks, and it's a thing of beauty. So if you look at this right here, let me just make sure this is muted because I don't want to hear this. If you look at this play right here, man, right here, look, here's the kick out by Quentin Nelson, the right guard coming out. 27 goes way too wide, so they take themselves out. So Quentin Nelson doesn't even have to deliver the block. Look at all the down blocks right here. Look at that wall right there, dude. Beautiful wall. Boom, boom, boom. Tyler Warren coming right up that lane to lead block. He's supposed to get this safety, leave one-on-one with the corner. In my opinion, that's how it's supposed to be coached. He goes for the corner. He leaves Jonathan Taylor one-on-one with the safety. Jonathan Taylor scores. And there's a really nice angle of that right now on the replay. That is just beautiful, right? Like right here. You'll see that, why I say, like, look at that angle right here. Boom. Tyler Warren, in my opinion, right there. You're supposed to take this
crazy.
guy.
Just take it one frame back if you can. The wall.
Yeah, dude.
Beautiful.
Wall,
that looks like a tunnel.
Let me make sure I got it because it's just gonna go back like 10 minutes, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Let's just look at it again. Yeah, dude, that blocking, dude, and the offensive line just dominated that drive, and that's the game winner, dude. Like, right there, man. It's just beautiful. That's what you're looking at right there. Right there, the wall.
Right there. Oh man, that split second. That is a tunnel.
Nobody's even close to Jonathan Taylor, untouched.
You can drive a truck through there.
Yes, sir. Great play. And again, Quentin Nelson had the easiest job because that defender took himself out of the play, number 27. Right? He would just went for a pass rush, like when they're running the ball. That was a really dumb move by the defender, in my opinion. You're supposed to hold your contain because you're just, it's just horrible play. So, again, I think Tyler Warren got the wrong one. Look at that move. Frozen, untouched. Beautiful play, bro. Had to go over it. Again, this play, the counter, GH counter specifically, has probably become the most popular and most ran play in all of college football and high school football, for sure. All of it. I can tell you that for sure. I know that because I see it in college. I see it myself, right? But they run it out of spread. They run it with the tight end, with the H behind the tight end or behind the tackle. So they run it out of a spread formation. I love the fact that the Colts ran it out of the power eye like the old school days, dude, or off shade eye. But it was beautifully ran football, man. So we had to highlight that. It's your play of the week right there.
Dude, thank you so much for that. All right, so another week in the books. Week 10 is history, and week 11 is looking at us dead ahead. I will see all of you guys next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Unofficial Commentators. And Paki, thank you for Coach's Corner. I'll see you next week, my friend.
Peace.